Hey everybody, I'm Creed, and this is Creed Saturday Morning, episode 21, and today what I'm working on is Psy-Crow from Earthworm Jim. So Earthworm Jim is one of my favorite 90s cartoons. It ran 23 episodes for 95 and 96, and I've already added Evil the Cat to my villains collection, but now it's time for Psy-Crow, Scourge of the Spaceways. Psy-Crow is voiced by Jim Cummings in the cartoon, and wow, Jim Cummings has been in a lot of things, and he's done a lot of voices that you know. He's Bob the Goldfish, also on this show. But then, let's see, he's done voices on Transformers, Visionaries. He does the voice of Monterey Jack on Rescue Rangers, Zummy on Gummy Bears, Don Carnage on Tailspin, Pete from Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck himself, the voice of Bonkers from the cartoon of the same name, Dr. Robotnik on Sonic the Hedgehog. He does the voice of Bumpy on Bump in the Night, Taz on Tasmania, the narrator on Schnookums and Meat and on Animaniacs. He does voices on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original show, Captain Planet. He does the voice of Moloch from Project Geeker, who's also in my gallery somewhere. He does voices on Savage Dragon, The Mask, Sylvester and Tweety's Mysteries. He does the voice of Cat on Cat Dog, and one of my favorite video games in the world, Painkiller, he does the voice of Alastor. So Psy-Crow is one of Earthworm Jim's major villains. He's a mercenary, and he also sometimes works for Queen Slugfurbutt. And actually one time, he even teamed up with Professor Monkey for a Head to overthrow the Queen and take over her kingdom. They had the better part of an episode to enjoy that until it went all to hell on them. Psy-Crow uses a lot of inventions and gizmos. I think my favorite one is his giant exoskeleton. Basically just looks like a big boiler with giant legs on it. And the show is really surreal. And I like the cool fake commercials they put in the show. Especially Psy-Crow does one, School of Nefarious Space Villainy, where he'll teach you how to be basically a space pirate. Now, out of the 23 episodes, Psy-Crow is featured in quite a few. The memorable ones, there's one where he gets basically the powers of a Green Lantern, using the Orb of quite remarkable power. I think if Earthworm Jim didn't have a magic sword at the time, he probably would have won. And there's another episode where Psy-Crow quits the mercenary business, and he goes to an employment office and tries out regular jobs. The fast food job doesn't work for him, and he even tries to be a gym teacher, and even shooting at the kids, he's fired for being too nice, which kind of fits. I think Psy-Crow's major episode is Hyper Psy-Crow, where basically he gets powered up by too much coffee. Now, if this was a more adult cartoon, that would have probably been some kind of drug, but Mighty Mouse already got canned for that, so I don't think they wanted to try that. And as a matter of fact, they even warn against drinking too much coffee. They want to make sure their butt's covered on that one. So Psy-Crow is actually the perfect villain for Earthworm Jim because he's an earthworm and Psy-Crow is a crow, so they're natural enemies. And the Earthworm Jim cartoon is based on a series of games. Originally, when Psy-Crow appeared in the games, he had a full yellow spacesuit on, but at some point they decided that he had bare arms. And I think it's a bit better of a design. What I really like about Earthworm Jim's villains is their weirdness, and it reminds me a lot of a couple other cartoons. His villain gallery reminds me a lot of the Tick's villain gallery, and also Freakazoid's villains. So Psy-Crow is villain number 87 in my cartoon villains gallery, and I actually do plan on drawing all the rest of the villains from this show. They're all great. The Queen with a long name, slug for a butt. I'll say her whole name in the one where I draw her. But I mean, Evil Jim. I mean, Evil Jim is definitely on my list. And Bob the Killer Goldfish. There's a lot of great villains in this. So Psy-Crow is just the second one, and like I said, I'll be drawing them all eventually. Another interesting fact about Earthworm Jim is his voice is done by the same guy who does Homer Simpson's voice. Now, it's different enough, but you will notice when you watch. It's cool. And I really liked at the end of Hyper Psy-Crow, basically Jim and Psy-Crow destroy the Earth, and a great worm spirit, the creator, appears, and it's Buddy who invented Earthworm Jim, which I think is cool, and he's actually doing the voice for it. That kind of steps outside the show. The show's really surreal, and it does break the fourth wall a lot. It's just, like I said, it's really one of the best 90s cartoons, and there's no way you can watch this show and not be a fan of Earthworm Jim and everybody else on the show. So I will have a lot more Earthworm Jim stuff coming up at some point, and I will have more art coming very soon. So this is only Villain 87, and I'm currently working on a very big piece for 100. It's Villain 100 is going to be Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. Now, if you haven't seen Gravity Falls, you need to watch it. It's one of the greatest cartoons ever made. It is modern, but doesn't matter. It just ended, I think it was last year. What a fantastic show. So I'm doing Bill Cipher as number 100, but at the end of that show, he basically summons a big pile of monster henchmen from another dimension, and I'm drawing all of those first to put in the background of his shot. So it's going to be really elaborate, but it's coming along nicely. So that's something to look forward to. But between then and now, I still have villains 88 to 99. So there's some really cool ones in there. And actually my next villain is going to be Beetlejuice. And I know there's a little bit of a debate there. Is he a villain? Is he not a villain? I think he is, in a way. So enough to go in my gallery. That'll be my next video. So stay tuned for that. And until then, take her easy. Hey, thanks for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. Just by watching these videos, you help me out. But if you really want to help the channel, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on how you feel. Make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up with my latest stuff. And if you're looking to buy a cartoon I'm talking about, I will put up the link to Amazon in the description. And if you're a big fan, the absolute best thing you can do is recommend this channel to a friend who loves cartoons. Thanks for watching.